So far, we have covered OTCQX, New York Stock Exchange, and the OTCQB, the NASDAQ. I want you to familiarize yourself with the QX and the QB and the color of these symbols so that when you're researching your company, you recognize that is the New York Stock Exchange. That means it's listed on the NASDAQ. So if you followed my videos since I started these lessons, hopefully these colors and symbols are starting to make sense and you're starting to learn a new language. Next, we will be discussing OTC Pink. Don't forget to check out my Better Health merchandise and my gratitude crystal earrings on my link tree in my bio on your way to follow up on all of my cannabis resources and all of my stock Q&A videos. At the end of the week, I will consolidate these videos into one larger video and attach them to my link tree for your follow-up. I am also listing the individual videos on my YouTube, but I'm only posting the consolidation on my link tree. I hope to educate you so we can all be successful at investing in the cannabis. Now that I got that out of my system, back to business. Let's talk pot stocks.
Hypocrisy at its finest.
That's what I thought. So today we're covering OTC Pinks. This is where the majority of your penny stocks are going to be listed at. Now don't be misled by the term penny stock. Penny stock just simply means that it is valued under $5 or even way under a penny. It just depends on what stage in development the company is in. OTC Pink Market, the open market. The pink market is for professional and sophisticated investors with a high risk tolerance of trading companies that may have limited information available. Penny stocks include foreign companies that limit their disclosure in the U.S. penny stocks and shells. This is the majority of the ratings that you will see in the pink market. Pink sheets are listings for stocks that trade over the counter, OTC, rather than on a major U.S. stock exchange. Major U.S. stock exchange being like New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. Many pink sheet listings are for stocks and companies that cannot meet the requirements for listings on a major U.S. stock exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange. Some companies choose to sell their shares through the over-the-counter network to avoid the greater cost and regulation requirements for listing on an exchange. Most pink sheet listings are low-priced penny stocks, meaning that they trade less than $5 per share. Pink Sheet is also a private company that works with broker-dealers to market the shares of OTC equities they represent. Follow-up. Pink Sheets are listings for stocks that trade over-the-counter, OTC. Pink Sheet listings are not listed on major U.S. stock exchanges, such as the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Or when you're looking at the OTC market, OTCQX represents New York Stock Exchange and OTCQB represents the NASDAQ. Most pink sheet stocks are small company penny stocks. Pink sheet stocks are highly risky due to a lack of regulatory oversight and low liquidity. Did I say that in Spanish or English? It's one of them words. The first rating symbol we're going to cover on the OTC Pinks is pink. The pink rating means pink current information. I don't have enough time for this slide on this video, so I will do another video covering the ratings under the OTC Pink tier on OTC markets. Good morning, you guys. OTC Pink is going to be kind of long because the less regulated the tier, the more pertinent information you need to know. Okay, so the first rating we're going to cover under OTC Pink is the symbol pink, which represents pink current information. Pink current information tier includes companies that the OTC Markets Group determines are making current information publicly available to the market pursuant to the company's applicable reporting standards. Disclosure can be provided to the SEC, a non-U.S. exchange or regulatory body, or pursuant to the Pink disclosure guidelines. So as you familiarize yourself with what these ratings mean just by looking at the symbol, the easier it becomes when you are researching the companies you are interested or researching to invest. The next rating symbol you're going to see is the yield sign, pink, limited information. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. OTC pink, pink limited information. Companies that have posted limited financial information through OTC disclosure and news services or are late in their filing obligations with the SEC are designated as pink limited information. A company can get a yield sign whether they're a day late, 5 days late, or 6 months late. When you see a yield sign, I would suggest going to the company's website, going to the bar chart, or looking the company up under the portal that you are using to invest with. To look up their current news information about maybe why they are late or what they are late on. Sometimes a company can be late reporting its financials. Any company in any tier can receive a yield sign, but you're more commonly going to see it in the pinks or the grays or the experts. We'll cover those on a later date. OTC pink continued. Warning, limited information. OTC Market Group has confirmed that this company has limited disclosure or financial information publicly available, but meets a minimum requirement for public quoting under Rule 15 Charlie 2-11. The pink limited information tier may include companies that are delinquent in their filing obligations with the SEC, or foreign exchange or regulator, or under the pink disclosure guidelines, as well as non-U.S. companies listed on a foreign exchange that do not require English disclosure and do not certify their compliance with the SEC Rule 12 Golf 3-2 Bravo. Whew, made it to. Good morning. My day's all off. Haven't had my coffee. I'm already working in the yard. Pretty sure my son's not doing his homework, but let's talk pot stocks. Where were we? We're on OTC pink. In OTC pink, you will see also, again, the shield symbol. Transfer agent verified. You will see the shield symbol in OTC QX, OTC QB, OTC pink, and OTC grays. Let's cover its meaning again. Transfer agent verified. Share data displayed on www.OTCMARKETs.com alongside a transfer agent verified. Logo has recently been verified by the company's transfer agent as reliable and trustworthy. This data is also disseminated through OTC Market Group's market data feeds to investors and broker-dealers. The Transfer Agent Verified Share Program provides investors current and reliable share data. The program enables stock transfer agents to support their clients' share data, including authorized and outstanding shares, to OTC Markets Group on a regular basis via a secure electronic file transfer. The next symbol we're covering is the shell symbol. What is the shell telling you? The shell symbolizes a shell company. A shell company is a company other than an asset-backed issuer with no or normal operations and either no or normal asset. Assets considered cash or cash equivalents, or assets considered of any amount of cash or cash equivalents and normal other assets, as defined by Security Act Rule 405 and Exchange Act Rule 12 Bravo-2. SEC reporting companies designate their shell status in their periodic filings. The shell risk is actually pretty long, so I will continue translating shell symbol in the next video. Good morning. I'm going to get my day started off right this time. First, I got to see how cold it is before I start working in the yard. I see my dad. Going to avoid him, so I'm going to take my happy ass inside while I cook breakfast and talk pot stuff. But first, let's make some coffee. All right. I have increased my dose to 1 full scoop. Couldn't do that before. Check out my merchandise in my link tree in my bio. 2 full scoops of my HAPInss chocolate, because I drink my coffee with hot chocolate anyways. You know what? I think I'll throw a third in there. Okay. This shit is so good. Start my day with my BiomeiX. This stuff has helped me tremendously with my PTSD and anxiety. You don't even know. Only those closest to me really know. And don't worry, I got new designs coming for my gratitude crystal earrings. I'm relocating my pool right now, so all I got time for is coffee, cooking breakfast, and educating you on some pot stocks. So we are in OTC Pink. We are discussing what the shell symbol means and the definition of what a shell company is. Let's go. Recap. A shell company is a company other than an asset-backed issuer with no or normal operations and either no or normal assets. Assets consisting of cash or cash equivalent, or assets consisting of any amount of cash or cash equivalents and normal other assets, as defined by Securities Act Rule 405 and Exchange Act Rule 12 Bravo-2. Such reporting companies designate their shell status in their periodic filings. The shell rest designation indicates that a company displays characteristics common to shell companies. This designation is made at OTC market sole and absolutely discretion based on an analysis of the company's annual financial data. It may differ from issuers' self-reporting, self-classification in their own public filings. Our analysis evaluates asset composition, operational expenditures, and income-related metrics. No action is required by a company to perform the evaluation other than publishing current annual financial information. In limited circumstances, OTC markets will consider removal of a company's shell's risk designation upon written request by a company. Please be advised that such request will only be considered when there has been a material change in financial conditions since the most recent fiscal year end that is reflected in publicly available interim financial statements. Examples include a material increase in asset composition or operational revenue with related financial disclosure as a result of an acquisition or change in control transaction. That's it for OTC Pink today. My dyslexia is off the charts. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to let you know that I am having a 20% sale store-wide on my Etsy store, listed on my link tree in my bio. And if you see anything that you like, that you like the pattern and the design, but you don't want earrings, I can always just turn it into a pendant. You can private message me and I can just take the earring attachment out and turn it into a pendant. Also, my merch will be 50% off this Friday, 25% off on our triad packages, and 25% off our new product line. I'm gonna have some coffee right now. Yes, ma'am. I have 1 scoop of AmpLIFEid every morning, along with my BiomeiX, which has helped me tremendously with my PTSD, my anxiety, my serotonin disorder. And actually, you can catch more about my testimony on my link tree in my bio. And a couple of scoops of my HAPInss in with my coffee. I love mixing chocolate with my coffee. And today I'll be boosting my immune system at the same time. Good morning, you guys. How you doing? Well, while people are out here stealing my content, let's talk about content they can't steal. Let's continue on OTC Pink and what that means for you. Now try to keep up. You might not be able to replicate this education here. The last video we covered was the OTC Pink and the shell symbol, and what the shell represents when you see it rated under a company's rating. Now we're going to cover verified profile again. Remember, repetition makes for better preparation. And you will see this rating under OTCQX, OTCQB, OTC Pink, and also in the OTC Grays. Let's cover it again. First, let me put some pants on, and then let's go have some coffee. These symbols every time they show up in an OTC tier, so that you don't get overwhelmed by seeing the symbol under different company ratings, under different tiers, so that you can begin to understand the meaning of the symbol itself and know that when you've read the rating, you know where to go from there. OTC Pink, verified profile. The company profile data was verified by the issuer within the previous 6 months. OTCQX rules and OTCQB standards require issuers to maintain a verified profile. And as you see, this says OTCQX rules and OTCQB standards, correct? You don't see any OTC Pink rules or standards. That's because the OTC rules and standards are a rainbow over the market of the OTC market and the OTC market tiers. Next, we're going to cover OTC Pink, independent directors. An independent director means a person other than an executive officer or employee of a company or any other person having a relationship which, in the opinion of the company's board of directors, would interfere with the exercise of independent judgment in carrying out their responsibility as a director. The two independent directors badge on a company's profile at www.otcmarkets.com means that the company has self-reported to the OTC markets that their boards of directors contains a minimum 2 independent directors. OTCQX and OTCQB companies are subject to the definition of an independent director found in the OTCQX rules and the OTCQB standards, respectively. Last but not least, OTC Pink, the stop symbol, pink, no information. Pink, no information. Pink, no information companies may not be able or willing to provide disclosure to the public markets, either to a regulator, an exchange, or OTC markets group. And when you see a stop symbol, I want you to do more research on the company itself directly. OTC Grade next. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I know the Marijuana Index is down and has been down for several weeks. But there are several other resources that list the cannabis industry companies. I have gone ahead and listed every resource that I utilize to conduct my research in the cannabis industry on my link tree. Towards the middle of my link tree, you will see where I have posted all of my Q&A. And every time I add a video to my YouTube, it will get listed and added here. Now here I have the Marijuana Index, OTC, Market Watch, Bar Chart, Midas Letter Raw, and New Cannabis Ventures. Those are the resources that I've talked about recently. Those are my go-to resources. But since the Marijuana Index is down and has been down, let me introduce you to some other useful tools. This link here would take you to marijuanastocks.com. This one will take you to cannabis stocks listed under the bar chart. There is a specific section within the bar chart that has the cannabis companies listed. Don't ask me how I found it, but this will take you directly to the bar chart cannabis list. There's potstocks.com. This one here is the psychedelic stock index. That's going to cover the shroom companies within the industry. There aren't very many. A couple of dozen, if that. North American Psychedelic ETF Index. They will have current and updated information on North American Psychedelic ETF and the possibility of a company being in or included in an ETF. Green Camp is a news resource and also stock information. It's kind of like New Cannabis Ventures, but maybe not as big or broad. Still a very useful tool. Marijuana Moments will take you to Marijuana Cannabis News. Investorpedia sounds like Wikipedia for a reason. This is a very useful tool for gathering research. FinViz is a very advanced tool for real-time quotes and tracking real-time stock activity. Investor Hub is great for chat room updates, investor information directly from other investors, because sometimes other investors catch news before you do. But don't just follow the crowd. Follow your instincts. Follow your own research. Virtual Investor Conference Portal. That is your portal to accessing company meetings when they are offering public Q&A and or public investor briefings. I changed the link to New Cannabis Ventures to not just take you to New Cannabis Ventures, but to take you to the direct link and direct portal of the Cannabis Ventures Marijuana Index. Make sure you follow me for more pertinent cannabis information and how to further invest in the marijuana industry. My link tree is here, top of my profile. You will find all of my current and stock information here in this folder. You're welcome. Good morning, you guys. So this morning, I'm going to share with you a video. It's going to be kind of long, but it is an article released of a whistleblower who works for a company whose focus is on short selling or pumping and dumping stocks. And this is exactly why I do what I do. A similar whistleblower released information late 2018, 2019. These kinds of articles come out frequently. This is nothing new. but it's also nothing to be intimidated by and prevent you from investing. Always depend on your own research. Never follow the trend of any chat group.
Strong by Confessions of a Paid Stock Basher from the other board. Confessions of a Paid Stock Basher. Today I want to come clean about something I feel very badly about. I cannot undo some of the things I have done, but hopefully this message will prevent other such occurrences in the future. I am a paid basher. Yes, it is true. Today is my last day at this company. I'm moving on to a new job. I've realized that there are more dignifying jobs out there that can pay me equally as well. But before I go, I want to explain a few things because this just isn't right and I won't feel good about myself until I expose this sham. It's hurt too many people and I don't want it on my conscience anymore. I can no longer live with a lie. I work for a company called Global Calumny Funds in Stamford, CT basically. It's a boiler room much like the one in the movie of the same name. The idea behind my group is to bash the price of a company's stock down low enough to where the group of investors who retained our company's services can buy the stock really cheap and perhaps even take it over altogether. There are approximately 70 people at the company divided into several groups. My group, consisting of 5 people, is responsible for IDWD. While I probably shouldn't give any names of anyone working here now, what the heck, I'm leaving here, so what can they do, sue me? I can tell you that Laptop Trader and Janice Shell were part of my group until he left last week, as was Ninadurtle. Others who have been part of this include early bashers like Hard Data and Investorman. You may be interested to know that some hipsters, such as Mami&Son and even Datadatch, have also been part of the scam. More on that later. There are several companies engaged in the bashing business. Ours is not the only one. However, I can tell you that not every basher in here is a paid basher. Having done this for a year, I can usually tell who is a paid basher and who is merely someone having a little fun. While unpaid bashers have a different motive than someone like me, they can be unwilling accomplices to helping me achieve my ultimate goal, and they also spread rumor and confusion throughout a room, which also helps me. What is that goal? Well, I am merely a cog in a much larger machine, so my bosses never really explained the big picture to me, but I'd say essentially, Watch 2003 was right. There are several companies who are quite familiar with Jim Bishop and Janice Shell and who are deathly afraid of them. There are 3 types of bashers here at Global Calumny Funds: advanced, intermediate and beginner. An advanced level basher.
This is part 2 of the whistleblower news from the stock market. I want to point out that you will see Apple.com as the soundboard that this was released from. I want to point out that you will notice that this message came from Apple message board. This is not an article reflective upon Apple. Apple released the information to its investors on its message board.
There are 3 types of bashers here at Global Calumny Funds: advanced, intermediate and beginner. An advanced level basher, also known as a silver-tongued devil, would spread false or misleading information about the company. They would deal in facts, countering every Long's post with articles, news reports and opinion surveys that gave a negative impression about the company. An intermediate level basher, also known as a serpent, would try to weasel their way into the confidence of Longs and create doubt using rumor or innuendo. Finally, a beginner level basher, also known as a pitchfork, would attempt to create confusion in the room by distracting other posters with satire, name-calling and pointless arguments. The idea was to make sure no serious discussion of the stock could take place. A pitchfork was usually a basher, but not always. Sometimes, we would throw in a hipster pitchfork such as Moni&Son and Laptop and a pumper like Datadatch to create the illusion of an argument going on. What was really funny, in a perverse way, I guess, was that Datadatch and I sat next to each other, laughing the whole time. I was a serpent basher, because I am known for effective bashing based on solid facts and truth. I was paid a base wage of $18 an hour for my services. I was given a $1.25 bonus for every decent quality post over 100 per day, as well as a monthly bonus of $100 for every penny the stock had dropped from the previous month. I was also paid a bonus for bashing on weekends. While this may not sound like much, I made a decent, though dishonorable, paycheck plus a nice laptop with free wireless internet connection. Each of us sat in a small half cubicle in a cluster with our teammates. Each group, usually 5 people, was made of 3 beginners, 2 who would bash and 1 who would hype, 1 intermediate and 1 advanced level basher. Occasionally, for some of the hotter stocks, one of the beginners would be replaced by an intermediate depending on how much the stock was rising. IDWD was a low-level stock, meaning it got the 3-1-1 configuration. Honestly though, somehow, I get the feeling that WV Hillbilly may have worked for a basher company or knows someone who does, because the fund websites he occasionally posts is eerily similar to our employers' websites. While not exact, I'd say it is about 90% the same. we do have certain rules that we follow. First, we have to develop a character and stay within that character in order to build a following. My character, Fog of War, was a humorous, sarcastic, obnoxious supporter of free speech and loved to portray himself as a truth-telling superhero, but only when it came to bashers. Next, we had to follow certain guidelines on what we could say. We were urged to have an answer to every long's question, but we were to frame that answer in a way that ridiculed the questioner for asking such a question. However,
This is the third and final part of the message sent out before the whistleblower quit their job. But I just want you to know that there are several companies that operate this way. Several organizations. You see it play out here on TikTok. This is a norm in the society we live in. The best thing you can do is be aware and educated about it so that you can avoid being affected by these kinds of people manipulating the stock market.
Next, we had to follow certain guidelines on what we could say. We were urged to have an answer to every long's question, but we were to frame that answer in a way that ridiculed the questioner for asking such a question. However, we were never to use profanity or vulgarity because that would cause people to ignore us. We were to make fun of people, but in a civil way. The idea was to get play, i.e. reaction from other posters. The more play we got, the more the room would be disrupted. Ignored posters get no play. One exception would be the hipsters, since they were defending the stock against our onslaught. They got a little more leeway. People would side with the hipster because they thought he was real, since he appeared to be on their side, but was really on ours, setting us up to disrupt the room. Money-Made was quite good at this and gets paid very well. I've worked on IDWD, VLO, AGI, QBID, BKMP for a few months now. In addition to the Fog of War alias, I've used a few others on several other boards as well. I've used so many aliases that I cannot remember the monikers or the passwords. I honestly lost track of everything. I stuck with Fog of War because it was the one that got the most play from other posters. In closing, I feel absolutely terrible about this. It's just awful how I've been part of a scam designed to cheat honest, hard-working people out of their investments, all for the benefit of a few wealthy people who already have enough money to last a lifetime. These greedy people must be stopped. That's why I'm posting this before I leave. I want to make up for some of the damage I've done. I can't live with this lie anymore. You can't imagine how hard it is to look at myself in the mirror each morning knowing my job is to cheat and lie. I have to go now. I'm too broken up to continue. I hope this confession can make up for my sordid deeds. I would urge everyone who reads this to inform as many people as you can. Only by shining the light of truth can we drive these rats back into the darkness from whence they came. Believe me, they don't want publicity. Good luck, and I hope all of you the best in your investment endeavors. Article source, http://www.article-.com by John Adams. Posted on www.article-.com, www.articlesop.com, www.articlesafari.com.
I would suggest that if you are invested or have been researching the companies listed in that statement, that you go and do further research yourself on those companies. Make sure you follow me for more Q&A and lessons on how to read and understand the OTC market rules and regulations, tiers, and ratings.